Hi, my name is Dr. Todd Austin from Austin Family Chiropractic in Verdon, Illinois, and I'd like to welcome you to this episode of Cold Laser TV. And today we're going to talk about chiropractic, cold laser therapy, and what I call the rule of thirds. Now, the rule of thirds is something that I learned way back when I became a chiropractic college student in the early 90s. And as I went into practice in 1993, I observed that rule was pretty true. The rule of thirds was that when a patient comes in to a chiropractor for their first adjustment, about a third of the time they're going to feel better after the first adjustment. About a third of the time they're not going to feel any different at all after the first adjustment. And the other third of the time they're actually going to feel a little bit worse before they start feeling better. So for example, if a patient came in, a patient was very acute, let's say they had a sciatica, it was a hip pain, low back pain going down to their leg, and the patient comes in and you say, well, Miss Jones, how bad is the pain today? Say, oh my God, doctor, you wouldn't believe it. It's like an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. So back in the old days, before I knew about laser therapy, we might adjust Mrs. Jones and her pain was an 8, and she might come back for the second treatment and the pain might be a 10. And she might be ready to scold me up one side and down the other because, well, I don't think this chiropractic stuff's going to help because my pain's getting worse. Well, the truth is, since I have started using cold laser therapy in my practice back in 2005, and since I made the jump to be a full-service cold laser therapy clinic in 2010, I can tell you that I don't even remember the last time that I had a patient that got worse before they got better following their first adjustment. Now that is because in most cases, if someone's going to come in with an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10, we're going to make use of the lasers. In fact, a lot of times what I'll do on the first visit, because typically I don't adjust on the first visit, we'll do the examination and the x-rays if necessary on the first visit, and then we'll do a first aid treatment with the cold lasers. So the way I would explain this is, well, Miss Jones, you're really acute in there, things are really flared up, there's a ton of inflammation in there. What I'm going to do is give you a first aid treatment with the cold lasers, and I'll explain how the cold lasers work. They're going to decrease inflammation, decrease swelling, decrease edema, improve the range of motion in there, and speed up the healing process. So when I see you a day or two from now, we go in there to do a chiropractic adjustment, we're going to get a whole lot more accomplished. So that's how that dialogue would go. But then I would do the first aid treatment that night with the lasers on the primary area of complaint. And typically when the patient comes back in to go over the x-rays and to get their first adjustment, they're already reporting that they're doing better. And I haven't even done chiropractic on them yet. So that's, from my standpoint, that is a whole lot less stressful than having a patient come back because they were one of the 1/3 of the patients that got worse after the first adjustment. And because that was back in the old days and I didn't have access to cold laser therapy, it was just kind of stressful. Now I don't have to worry about that. Now obviously if someone comes in and they're only, let's say, a 3, first visit they're only a 3, well, it's just like annoying, doc, you know, it's not really excruciating. That might be a case where I feel, well, we can get by with just chiropractic and we really don't need to do the cold laser therapy. But like I said, if we have someone that's really acute, the way that I practice now, we're definitely going to make use of those cold lasers. And a lot of times we're going to have the patients coming back in before they even got their first adjustment and saying, man, I'm already doing so much better after you ran that laser on me, doc. You know, I mean, I'm just already on the right track. Instead of an 8, I'm like about a 4, but for about a day after you did it, I was down to about a 2. So, you know, at that point, we basically know that we're on the right track. The patient trusts me as a doctor because I obviously know what the heck I'm doing if I was able to take their pain down that much without having even really given them an adjustment with my hands yet. So that's how that works. So using cold laser therapy in my practice pretty much blows up the rule of thirds. So I would say at this point, anyone we use lasers on, probably 75% of those people are going to feel some improvement after the first visit, whether we even did an adjustment or not. And there are about 25% of them that are going to say, well, I don't really feel a whole lot different, or maybe it's just a little better, I'm not really sure, it might just be in my head, I'm not really sure. So I would say 75% feel definite improvement after the first laser treatment, and like I said, 25% are like, I'm not really sure after the first treatment. But that's how we blow up the rule of thirds at Austin Family Chiropractic with the use of cold laser therapy, since our practice is a full-service cold laser therapy clinic. So thank you for watching. I hope that you got some good information out of this video, and I look forward to bringing you future videos on the subject of cold laser therapy here on Cold Laser TV. Thank you, and make it a terrific day.